How do I avoid common motorcycle accidents? Well, how you avoid those are first and foremost, don't ride. No, just kidding. If you want to ride, go ahead. The major ones that typically happen are going to be in intersections, corners, and then honestly, slow speed stuff. People kind of just drop the bike when they're not really paying attention and tired or whatever. So how to avoid it? Be aware. Take action to make sure that you are going into those intersections in a safe way. So orange stage, planning your ride. In the corner, slowly press and roll, planning that action right there. And then being accountable. So afterwards, understand, hey, I had a close call. What is it that I could have done better? Or, hey, I had a great time and I witnessed things coming out of the side of the vehicle coming out. I saw somebody coming over here, but I positioned over here and I located it and I was able to assess it, and I didn't even have to navigate because I was understand and be accountable for your actions, whether they're good or bad. Victories, embrace them. Failures, what's the lesson? Okay. Now what I'm holding here is the DDFM Crew Challenge coin. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. They're numbered. DDFM Crew Challenge coin. They're numbered. There's only 250 of them, and it comes with the DDFM Crew pledge. Make sure you guys sign it. Become a smart rider. Make sure you're constantly practicing. But this will hopefully put you in the mindset. Put it in your pocket every single time. Put you in the mindset so that you will stay safe and avoid common motorcycle accidents. That was heavy. How do I ride a motorcycle on the highway? First and foremost, it's just like riding on the regular street. It's just that you're going to be going at a higher rate of speed. So you're going to have more wind hitting your chest if you're on a cruiser. If you don't have a windshield, you're going to have crosswinds. So they're going to get pushed off to the side. One thing that you can do is when you're riding and you have your legs kind of like this, you're doing this. If the wind is pushing you this way, stick your knee out. Okay? Use that as a sail. It's going to grab wind and it's going to try to pull you this way while the wind's trying to push you this way. It's going to counterbalance some of that stuff. So you're not really like leaning into the wind. That's a good little tip. Riding on the highway, it's actually safer than riding in town because you don't have that cross traffic. Okay, you don't have those intersections that are going to hit you. You're going to have issues when it comes to merging, but those are pretty few and far between. One thing I prefer to do is staying in the right lane. If you notice, in the right lane, that shoulder off to your right is pretty big for the most part. On interstates, they're pretty big. It's about as big, it is as big as a lane itself. So if I'm in that right lane, I'm basically in the center of 3 lanes at that point. If I'm far off to the left lane, in that fast lane or the overtaking lane, that little itty-bitty shoulder off to my left, I can still make it work. There's rumble strips or whatever, I can still make it work, but it doesn't offer me a lot of opportunity. So I like being in the right lane. It allows me to have a massive shoulder to my right and an open lane to my left sometimes. So I have the option of swerving right, swerving left, and I have a lot of room in front of me and behind me. So how to ride on the interstate? Accelerate on that on-ramp to get up to speed, the flow of traffic of the highway, freeway, whatever it is that you're doing. When it comes to riding which lane, I like the right lane, so I have a shoulder and a left lane to play around with if I need to. Picking up speed, not panicking, gripping the tank with my knees instead of holding the handlebars and shaking it all over, especially when you get wind buffeted. Relax. Off ramps, indicate first that you're getting off. Once you get on that off ramp, start to slow it down. Apply a little bit of brake pressure, engine RPM starting to go down, downshift, 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 downshift. Progressively brake. It's actually considered trail braking. Pretty much the same thing because you're coming to a stop. You're moving there. So get on the off ramp. There it is. How to practice it? Pick a spot of the freeway that is like maybe a mile to the next off ramp. Get on, speed up, stay, practice the wind, get off. Go across, get on, and just do like a 1 mile loop of on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off before you decide, oh, I'm going to go 100 miles. Just do the on, off, on, off, on, off. Get some reps in. Get some reps in. So that is how you ride on a highway. What are the common mistakes made by motorcycle riders? Whew. Man, we got so many. It's common, right? It's so common. First and foremost, speeding. Do not speed when you're riding a motorcycle. It's so easy to do. Don't go speeding, okay? That's going to cause you issues. You're not going to have enough time to react. Our bodies are not meant to go this fast. They're not designed that. We can only take so much information in at a time, and we're hauling booty on a motorcycle where we have no roll cage, no real protection outside of gear, and that's just mitigating injuries. You're still going to have a ton of them if you slide into the side of a truck going 55 going through an intersection that's supposed to be 35. Slow it down. That's the biggest thing here, especially in corners, into intersections. Very important. Next thing is stay aware. Zone in. A lot of people like to zone out. Okay, so white stage zoned out, yellow stage zoned in, orange stage found something. Uh-oh, gut check, we're going to do something. Red stage, get out of here, do some emergency something. Brown stage, complete panic and you pooped your pants. So staying aware, not speeding, and maintaining your fundamental skills. Okay, your skills will go away if you don't practice them. You ever get back on a motorcycle after, let's say, a month, 2 weeks? You're like, man, this feels weird. That's because you haven't been practicing. Does it feel weird walking? You walk every day, hopefully. Some people don't. You walk every day. Does it feel weird walking? Now, if you've gotten injured and you've been on crutches for 8 weeks, all of a sudden walking without crutches feels awkward. Practice, practice, practice. It's a skill that you can lose, and you don't want to lose that skill when we're out riding going 55 miles an hour into an intersection, which should be 35, and we weren't paying attention. Then we don't even know what the heck we're supposed to do, and we don't swerve, we don't do nothing, we don't brake, we suck at it, and we panic and hit the side of the car. So those are 3 things: speeding, making sure you are aware, and then maintaining your fundamental skills. I think that's the most common thing. All right, grab yourself a booklet. I'll see you guys later. How to avoid common motorcycle risks. Okay, we briefly talked about the mistakes that we make when it came to these risks, but now we're going to talk about the things that kind of pop out and try to get us. One of the things that tries to get us are vehicles. Okay, so roadway users. So that's going to be other cars, other motorcyclists, basically people in machines going fast. Okay, or they're on the road. Roadway users. And even bicyclists can be considered roadway users. Pedestrians can be considered roadway users in some kind of weird way. The next thing is that we're going to watch out for is road surface hazards. Okay, that's going to be potholes, gravel, snow, anything that's on the ground that's going to make you lose traction. Okay, animals is another one. You got to watch out for animals. You don't want to hit a coyote or a moose or wherever the heck you are. So you got to be careful with that. And let's just go and talk about those. So roadway users, road surface hazards, and animals. Okay, so roadway users, you're going to be watching out for, one sec while I play with this rescue pack and put this together. What you got to watch out for when it comes to roadway users, that intersections. It's going to be an area where people could intersect perpendicular to you, merging, people coming into your lane. Got to watch out for that. Merging to the interstate, got to watch out for that. So basically any opportunity for a roadway user to collide with you. And the best way you can kind of get around that is planning your ride, positioning yourself for safety, for a good space cushion, good line of sight, and making sure you have at least one escape path. Watch out for roadway users. They're going to be one of the biggest risks that you're going to have out there. They're going to be the ones that are going to put you in a position where you panic and then you go off road, or you're going to strike them because they're being idiots, or they're going to push you off the road when you're in the middle of a corner. So careful with that. Watch out for that side of the vehicle, the patterns that we talk about on Dan and the Fireman. Really important. The next thing is road surface hazards. That can make you lose traction from your motorcycle. So if you're speeding and you go around a corner and there's gravel and you hit it, you're going to low side or high side, whatever it is, you're going to lose traction. If you're not speeding and you see gravel, you might be able to get around it. So be very careful with that. We talked about that in a different video. Watch out for potholes, because if you do hit a pothole, it's going to jostle you a little bit, maybe lose control at the handlebars, maybe bend your rim, cause damage to your motorcycle, cause you to flip and fall. Not a good thing. Losing balance is not good. So gravel is a big one. That's one that gets everybody. Snow and ice is pretty common, but gravel is a little bit hard to see. Black ice is almost impossible to see. Potholes, if you're not paying attention, got to watch out for that. What I like to do is that the road looks, say like the road is this. It's pretty much the same color. That's not the same color. So I'm coming up to here. That's not the same color. I don't like it. I'm going to get around it. I don't care what it is. It could just be a patchwork. But I'm going to assume that it's going to be a pothole or something wrong with the road. I'm going to stay on the road that looks the same throughout within my lane. So watch out for any discoloration. Watch out for that change in pattern on the road because it's very important. You got to watch out for that. Watch out for that. Animals. Dogs are a big one, but coyotes, moose, all that stuff. Deer, very unpredictable. If you're in an area where it's very common for animals to be, just kind of slow it down. Be prepared. Last thing you want to do is hit a deer going 65 in like a 45 when you could have just been going 45. There is a difference in the mechanism of injury and the type of impact that you might be having with those 20 miles per hour difference. Wear gear just in case you're not. It's going to be difficult. Best bet is hopefully apply some really quick progressive brake pressure, look for an escape path, and just hopefully swerve into that. Dogs are a little bit difficult to juke, but you can do it, especially in neighborhoods. Watch out for that. Anybody walking their dog, I don't trust it. I'm going to move over, position myself for safety, get as far away as possible, and then kind of get right back into it. But those are the 3 things that I'd be watching out for when I'm riding a motorcycle. So those are common risks that you need to avoid. What are the benefits of riding a motorcycle? Well, everyone has their own reasons why, but I guess I'll just go over some that I personally like. And guys, if you don't know what this is the rescue pack. This is the trauma kit that we have. It has the tourniquet, a bunch of other stuff that for bleeding control, and it also comes with a rescue booklet. So this is the instruction manual on how to use it, especially after a crash. You got to watch out for it. You don't want to bleed to death. It's very common. Anyways, benefits of riding a motorcycle. For me, it was the mental health. For me, it was the mental health thing. I felt grounded, like with the motorcycle. Like it's a meditative state. So anything can be meditative. You can do the common meditation of closing your eyes, and kind of grounding yourself that way with your breath work. That's called somatic work. Very good. I love it. It's being in tune with your mind and body. So think of it kind of like from a psychology aspect too. But for the motorcycle, I had to zone in. I had to pay attention, be on the motorcycle, make sure I'm doing make sure I'm on the motorcycle, but make sure I'm doing the friction zone, shifting correctly, looking, scanning, looking at mirrors. I could not be distracted or it is dangerous for me. I almost have to put myself in a dangerous situation to focus. I have to put myself, like the deadline is tomorrow. I gotta focus. I'm on a motorcycle. Anybody can kill me. I gotta focus. I can't focus sitting there. I can't do that. I can. It takes a little bit, but I'd rather be riding a motorcycle. So for me, it was that mental health, grounding yourself, getting yourself out of your head for that little bit of time allows your body just to reset. Your life is stressful. You're thinking all the time, providing, whatever it is, living, existing in this world is tough. When you're on that motorcycle, let's say for 30 minutes, and you're able to just down-regulate your nervous system because you're just grounded and calm and focused, and your body can just do its job, your mind is just focused on one thing in that flow state, it resets your body. Working out could do that, going for long walks, meditative walks, so listening to a podcast, listening to music that has no lyrics while you're just walking, playing with your kids, whatever it is that's going to ground you is very important. But for me, it was motorcycles. I didn't have all the other stuff at the time. Another benefit of riding a motorcycle, and this is where some people kind of get into it, is that, it's cheaper gas, cheaper insurance for some things. Okay, I know a lot of kids want to get sport bikes. It's not going to be cheap insurance, but cheaper gas, something that is fun. Some people don't have things that are fun. Something that's fun. They enjoyed bicycling, riding BMX bikes in the neighborhood as a kid. Well, I don't feel like riding a bike anymore, but I do like that exhilaration, having the wind, having that feeling of freedom. And I want to go places now instead of just the neighborhood as a kid. Boom, a motorcycle right there. You got power between your legs and you can move on and go. So there's that freedom aspect, that grounding aspect, that mental health aspect. There's the commuting aspect. Motorcycles are cheaper than cars, and you're a college student. Say you just get a scooter, just going back and forth. You don't need a big car. You don't need that crazy insurance. You don't need that massive bill. You don't need to carry friends with you. You really don't. You're studying to be a doctor. You don't need that. Well, you kind of do, but still having that lower cost, very easy. It's inexpensive. For me, it's always been the mental health. I take very good care, or I try to take very good care of my mental health. And honestly, money means nothing to me as long as I'm at peace. And motorcycles deliver that for me. And then you guys do too. I get to be at peace and focused on putting these together. So grab yourself a rescue pack. That's one of the benefits of riding a motorcycle for me. What is it for you? Write in the comments. What is the best way to park a motorcycle? Best way to park a motorcycle is going to be the one that's going to be the easiest for you to get out of that parking space. Okay, so it's pretty easy to kind of come up to a parking space and be like, oh, boom, parked right in. Just nosed right in, done. But exiting out, might be a little bit harder. So if it's on an incline like this and you're coming in this way, okay, nosing it wouldn't be good. Nosing would be good because if you try to back it in with your Flintstone feet, it's going to be difficult going against gravity. So nosing it in and then being very careful coming out of that parking space. Either get off the bike and walk it out, or get on the bike and tiptoe it, or whatever it is that you can do, and then you go ahead and get yourself out of there. If it's like this, boom, and we're coming in like this, you might want to just back it in, because then you can use the power of the motorcycle to get yourself out. Backing in, using gravity to kind of go back, it can start picking up speed. So if you need to, go ahead and walk it. I like to walk on the right side. Be very careful with the exhaust burning your legs, but walking on the right side gives you that opportunity to hold that front brake while you're moving back, just in case you need to squeeze it a little bit to slow it down and then catch yourself, because it could just take off on you. Make sure you guys are paying attention to how you can get out versus how you can get in, okay? Getting out is the biggest one. Make sure you put that side stand down. If you have a center stand, that's great, but make sure you can get out of that parking space. What is the importance of a motorcycle helmet? I think this is pretty easy for you guys to understand, but basically, you're gonna have injuries to your head in a crash. Simple as that. Injuries to your brain specifically in a crash. Your head might not hit the ground, but your brain is sloshing around in that cerebral spinal fluid. Coup contra coup, it's going to hit something, bounce around, rotational forces, causing tears, micro tears, bruising on the brain where it hits the inside of the skull. Not good. That's called a traumatic brain injury. You can have concussions. You can have really high-grade concussions where you're starting to just lose all memory. But a helmet, what that's going to do is hopefully absorb some of that impact with that polystyrene foam, has some absorption properties, so when it does hit, hopefully it's not going to cause as much of an injury. Hopefully, I'm not going to say numbers, but let's say it prevents 50% of the negative outcome. I would take that over anything. Plus, a helmet with a face shield is going to protect your eyeballs. Your eyeballs are part of your brain. It's connected to your brain. It's the only thing that's external. I don't want to have a rock or a bug or a bee go right into my eye, so I have a face shield. That's going to protect your eyes. You don't have to wear glasses at that point, unless you have to, but a face shield is going to protect your eyes. Also, it's going to protect your hearing to some extent. You still want to wear earplugs, but it's going to hopefully protect your hearing because you don't want to have hearing loss. Another thing is that, like I said, with the bugs hitting your eyes, well, you don't want it to hit your face, okay? So hopefully you have a full face chin bar, and in an event of a crash and you hit face first, it's going to hopefully protect your chin from having massive, massive injuries to where you can't have an airway to breathe. Okay, you might be good everywhere else, but then you smash your face and you die because you can't breathe. Not good. Okay, you might still break some teeth. You might still get some bloody mouth because it does impact your face, but it's not going to rip your face open like I've seen a few times on motorcycle accidents. So, what is the importance of a helmet? It's protecting the most important thing on your body. It's that little alien that's inside your head controlling the rest of your body, like in Men in Black. Make sure you protect that. Wear a helmet.